Remember, safety first. Don't forget an adult and to get any safety equipment you may need for today's experiment.
Hi, and welcome to Pop Bang Fizz Stupendous Science! I'm Miss Amelia from the St. Charles Public Library, and today we're going to be coming to you virtually until we can all get together at the library again. So today we're going to be experimenting with liquids, and more specifically, it's a non-Newtonian liquid, and we like to call it Oobleck. So to make Oobleck, you're going to need cornstarch, a mixing bowl, some water, and something to mix with. So I had mentioned this is called a non-Newtonian liquid. Other examples of a non-Newtonian liquid are silly putty or quicksand. Right? Is it a liquid? Is it a solid? What does it do? Go ahead and dump in your cornstarch. First thing I want you to do is put your hands in there and feel it. It's really fine, it's really smooth. Rub your hands together, it feels real silky. All the particles, a little messy, all the particles are really, really fine. Okay. Next up, we're gonna add our water. We're gonna go ahead and add it slowly. And as you pour it in, get a little in there, and then you can get in there and mix it up. You can start with your fork, but eventually you are gonna have to get your hands dirty. Right. You can probably already start to feel a little bit of the oddity that is a non-Newtonian liquid as you're mixing it with your fork. I'm looking at it and I'm seeing that it looks like milky water, but when I put my fork in it and try and drag it through, I'm getting a lot of resistance, like I'm dragging it through something really thick, like peanut butter or quicksand. I'm gonna go ahead and set the fork aside and let's see. Go ahead and get your hands in there. You can see that it runs off my fingers like a liquid, but I'm sure you can feel that there's little bits of solidness in there. Cool thing about Oobleck is that there's no wrong way to make it. If you get a little too liquidy, you just add in a little more cornstarch. So let's see. If you get a little too thick, you just add in a little more water. I'm gonna add in a little more right here. Oh, there we go. And you can start to see it's a little chunky as I mix it up with my hands. It's a little more solid. Definitely reminds me of something like quicksand. And as you rub your hands across rub your fingers across your hands, you can feel it starts to get really solid. It's because the liquid is reacting to the pressure and the quickness that you're moving your hands. So if you were to tap into the Oobleck, before your fingers touch the bottom of the bowl, they run into it. It almost feels like silly putty, which totally makes sense. You can scoop it up, you can scrape it up off the bottom, and you can play around with it. It's pretty much one of my favorite things. So Oobleck is named this way because of a super awesome book by Dr. Seuss. It's called Bartholomew and the Oobleck. I don't know if you guys can tell this, but this is one of my favorite things to play around with. There's lots of cool things that you can do to change up your experiment. You can add more cornstarch, see what it does. Add more water, see what it does. If you want to add food coloring to it and make different colored Oobleck, you absolutely can. I recommend you add the food coloring to your water first before you dump it in. But hey, turn it into an experiment. See what happens if you add the food coloring after you've already mixed it up. What does it do? Thanks for watching Pop Bang Fizz Stupendous Science. Check back on Fridays for new videos or subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to learn more about science and you have a library card, check out our online resources called ScienceFlix. It's on the library's website. Or you can click on the link in the description below. Bye!